those of us in the early days of sort of organizing the movement of Gourmet Flesh were really privileged to spend quite a bit of time with Mother Teresa. I probably sat with her a dozen or 15 times.
You call her Mother, don't you?
Well, that's what a lot of the folks who've been around her would refer to as Mother. And it was pure, and it was simple, and it was, I mean, really, any time you've ever interacted with Mother Teresa, there's so much love in it, and a profound, I think, real sense of humility. But when the book came out with sort of some of the diary confessions of her doubt or her angst, I know she did get hassled a good bit, and a lot of folks in our community read that together and discussed it together, and a lot of folks came at our community asking, well, how do you make sense of this? And the truth is that I think if you would pick up the journals or the diaries or look at the blogs of any of our staff who've been working in refugee camps or red light districts or slums for the last 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years, you would also find real doubt. I think what's amazing about the testimony of Mother Teresa is that she had the courage to be honest with some really hard questions that there are no answers to, and then she remained faithful. I think that a lot of us who live fairly insulated and isolated lives don't have the courage to ask those questions. And when we start to ask those questions, there are, let alone no simple answers, there sometimes are no answers at all. And that doesn't seem safe to us. But I think if we're thoughtful Christians in 2008, there's a lot that we should be asking that we're not. And some of the lack of answers should cause deep concern in our soul. We should be disturbed, and that should inform our faith in a way that it may not always seems packaged up and tidied up and formulaic, because it's not.
Don't you think that there's a certain logic to it in that the people to whom she is ministering, those are the persons who themselves experience abandonment. They feel, they're saying, my God, why have you abandoned me? And the more and more and more you identify with that person, the more and more and more that becomes your experience.
Oh, yeah.
And your prayer. And so there's a certain logic that if I'm going to go there to truly identify with another person is it's beyond empathy.
Yeah, it is the impressed sign. It's a tangible sign of the kingdom. It's bearing the open wounds in the body of Christ today, where solidarity isn't rhetoric. There's a cost to it.
I'm leaving my position of solidity and security and taking the risk that I'm going to lose what I have. Now that's, I don't know. I mean, there is a martyrdom there that just bears a lot of reflection.
Yeah.
And it's very thin to hear sort of the cacophony of comfortable Christians taking shots at her faith.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad.